I've been seeing the tweets, the police chief, the police department's tweets about the illegal guns that were seized at the Oceanfront. So many guns that were seized.
Yes.
How did police find those guns on the Oceanfront?
You know, a lot of them, and I think we need to, they're not illegal guns. You know, for the most part, they are legal production items, unless they're the ghost guns that we hear about. But they are possessed illegally. They're used illegally, and that's really what we're focusing on. The vast majority of them is coming from proactive police work. And I think we need to mention that what you're seeing in Virginia Beach is not happening across the nation. Whether we like it or not, the last 2 years has demoralized police departments. There has been a mass exodus of officers, veteran officers, and in a lot of places, proactive policing is dead. Here in the beach, our officers, for the most part, still feel supported by this council, by this community, and they're going out every day, putting their lives on the line to make an impact and interdict those guns in the hands of people that should not have them before they pull the trigger.
Definitely. How many illegally possessed guns have been seized? I know one particular tweet said over 36, but how many actually have been seized this month?
You know, I don't have the numbers for just this month, but I know just focused on the Oceanfront, the resort area this weekend, it was close to 20. So think about that is, you know, we hear about the gunfire and the violence that gets associated with the Oceanfront. But, you know, what I just presented to council is we have not had a homicide in the Oceanfront in over a year. Our last shooting victim, last time we had a person shot in the Oceanfront, 311 days ago. So that, you know, that's not by accident. It is by a lot of great police work by the men and women of this police department, engaging in proactive police work, partnering with the community to try to impact those folks before they find themselves in a situation where they lack the de-escalation skills, and unfortunately they resort to a firearm to resolve their conflict. So we're trying to take the guns out of the hands of the folks that shouldn't have them, that are not mentally, you know, stable and mature enough to have those guns and to deal with their conflicts and their issues. And right now I would say that we're being very successful at it.
Awesome. You mentioned around 20 guns this weekend. Like, that's a lot. How exactly are police actually finding these illegally possessed guns?
Well, you know, as much as you know, there's been changes in the law, a lot of them are coming from traffic stops. So, you know, when we hear about the concerns around traffic stops, the traffic stops are a huge staple of policing because criminals have to travel to and fro, and our ability to stop them for violations and take those guns off. And you know, this is just a sample that I provided. These are the guns right here that we took just this weekend from the Oceanfront. And what I'd like to draw your attention to is these aren't cheap guns anymore. These are expensive guns. They're all high quality firearms, many of them with the high capacity magazines. This is what the men and women of the Virginia Beach Police Department are dealing with every single day. So, you know, when there is a critical incident or something bad happens, that's what we all focus on. But 99% of the time, we are finding the right people, making the arrest, removing the guns without incident, without conflict, without use of force. Let's talk about all the great work that's being done and not just focus on, you know, the 1% or 2% of the time that it doesn't go the way that we want.
Absolutely. You mentioned safety. That's such a big concern. How is the police department keeping families and people who visit the Oceanfront safe?
Well, I think the numbers speak for themselves, that we've really focused our efforts to be evidence-based and data-driven on locations and on offenders. So we don't want to engage in mass arrest. You know, if you're familiar with policing, and it goes back, zero tolerance was a strategy the police department's engaged in. Was it effective? I would say yes for short term. We can lock up a whole lot of people and drop crime short term. Long term, what it does is it alienates your community. It drives a wedge between the police and the community. So we want to be very focused on people that drive violence and locations that drive violence, and that's what we're doing. And that's, you know, one of the conversations that I had at council today is there has to be a place-based component as well. So us being able to put a substation in the middle of the 2100 block of Atlantic, where historically we've had an inordinate amount of calls for service, crime, and disorder, has actually started changing and turning the tide down there. So we have a 21% reduction in calls for service from that same one block location. So think about it, if we're responding to 115 fewer calls for service, think about the proactive police work that we can do, the community engagement we can do when we're not just responding to the 911 call for, drunk patrons and fights and disorder. So it has to be both. It has to be offenders, it has to be places, and it has to be incredibly focused.
Definitely. Your department, you all have been doing a great job with keeping crime down in the area, the Oceanfront, as you mentioned. No homicides this year
within a past year.
Past year, yes.
So
yes, thank you.
It goes back to March of last year, and we have not had a person shot, like I said, since June 19th of last year. So I think it's really important, and I ask you as our media, the one to help us tell our story, that the perception that we see about ongoing violence at the Oceanfront, it is perception in many cases. It's not perfect down there, but I think the numbers speak for themselves.
Definitely. With that, you mentioned officer shortages. How many vacancies do you all have to fill?
We're 93 short. Yeah. So think about the great work that is being done when we have critical areas such as homicide, vice, canine, that are all missing people out of those critical assignments because we can't take everybody from the streets. Uniform patrol, 911 response is the backbone of policing, and we have to be out there to respond timely to our citizens when they pick up the phone and call 911. But all those back functions that support everything they do, we're struggling, and it's going to take some time. I think what we're seeing is not unique to Beach PD. It's not unique to Hampton Roads. This is a national problem, and it's going to take quite some time for it to turn around.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like this in your career, just like the officer shortage, being down 93 officers?
No, I haven't seen it where we've struggled as much to get folks. I mean, there have been lean times where, the cities, the employers didn't have money for new recruit classes, but this is completely different. These are cities saying we want to fund our police. We want to make sure that we have enough officers to keep our city safe. We just can't find enough quality folks willing to step up and take that on. And I think the one thing that we need to realize is it's not just a recruiting issue, but it is retention. Because what you have now, what I've seen over the last 2 years, is you have a lot of folks that have given of themselves, of a career of service for 20, 25 years and could work 35 years, but they said it's not going to be in this profession. So think about losing a 25-year veteran officer and that they go on and do something else because they feel disenfranchised and not supported. The folks that do step up, once we hire them, they don't have the experience that we need. Think about a 25-year veteran and what they have developed over that time for de-escalation skills and engagement and the communication. We've got to teach that all to our new folks. So it is a very, very challenging time. It's going to take us years to overcome.
Yeah. Speaking of retention, last week at the budget meeting, many police officers said that they would like to see a step plan implemented. What do you think about that?
I think we have to look at a step plan to be competitive because everything that I read and everything that I hear, other municipalities, that is the way that they're going. It is something that our folks desire, something that the associations desire, and if we want to be competitive and compete for the limited number of quality people that are out there, it's something that I hope council will at least consider.
Also, school resource officers.
Yes.
I know you all had to pull a few of those to help out. Tell me about that.
It comes down to being 93 officers short. At some point, we have to make hard decisions. We are a resort city. There is an expectation that you see uniform VBPD presence at the Oceanfront. It's an expectation. It's a necessity because of the big influx. And I can't just downsize everything and not touch certain units. So as much as we value our partnership in the schools, it's absolutely critical because it's not just safety and security. That is a huge piece to it, but it's the relationships we're building. It's the relationships that we're forming with our youth so that we can hopefully keep our arms around them and help them make good decisions so they don't become some of the ones that we're dealing with from an enforcement perspective. So, I mean, it's not an easy decision to make, to tell the schools that I've got to pull some of the SROs because I have to take additional officers from the outlying precincts to upstaff the resort area, and then I need those SROs to backfill some of those zones because we still have to answer the calls for service. We have to do the backbone of American policing.
How many SROs did you all pull from schools?
You know, right now it's 10. So, you know, there's approximately 27, 28, you know, SROs at any given time. So we have taken 10 and moved them into patrol functions. But, you know, the good thing that what we've done is we haven't removed them from that precinct. So they are still running a zone near their school. So if they're not answering a 911 call, we expect them to go visit that school. Still be a presence there. It's just that we don't have the luxury right now to allow them to spend their entire day at the school.
Yeah. And also, how were these resource officers chosen? Did you all pick them from middle schools or all high schools? How did that come about?
We consulted with the schools to see which ones that we felt we were best suited to pull from at the time and which ones we shouldn't pull from. So it was all done in coordination with Safe Schools and our partners over there because you know, we don't want any surprises. You know, we want to make sure that we are good partners in this, and it's something that we don't want to do. We prefer not to do, but we find ourselves in challenging times where we have to make hard decisions. Yeah. And it was a hard decision, but it was one I had to make.
Yeah. With the school resource officers leaving the schools, how are you assuring to parents that the schools are still safe with the SRO officers not there full time?
Now, like I just said, they're going to be in the immediate vicinity.
Right.
So they're still expected to stop into their schools, have a presence. It's just we put some additional responsibilities on them, and you know, we're working with the schools to see if there is a way to really backfill the security perspective. And that's what, you know, we're worried about the security, but let's not forget we're also worried about the impact of those relationships. So it's something that we're going to continue to work with the schools to find an answer. But I don't think there's a perfect answer, and that's what everybody wants, is that we can keep the status quo, but when you're down 93, the status quo is no longer achievable.
Yeah, I understand. We were talking about the weather earlier. The weather is nice, it's getting hotter. Do you all plan to have more patrols at the beach or the oceanfront during the weekend? Talk about that.
Absolutely. We're always up-staffed in the summer months, and especially the weekend, because we have had some challenges. But I think the numbers show that we're going in the right direction. But our residents that live there, our visitors expect a vibrant police presence, and that's why we're upstaffing, and that's what forces us to look at you know, some of these outlying units, such as the SROs, and have to make some tough decisions about where we get those bodies. Mm-hmm. You know, for what we have for staffing, you know, we're authorized 803 officers. We're down 93 of those, but we're a big city, 460,000 residents, 260 land miles plus the waterways that we patrol. We do a very, very good job with the limited amount of people that we have. Yeah. And I've made it clear to council, and so, you know, it's no secret that not only do we need to be a complement, but I would like to see us go beyond that we need more than just the 803, because I really want more of a robust 24/7, 365 presence at the oceanfront. But that is the grand vision, mm-hmm. But we have to deal with what we have currently in front of us.
Yeah. On any given weekend, as it, you know, gets hotter, summer is around the corner, how many officers do you all plan to have at the oceanfront on the weekends?
Yeah, you know, those are numbers that we don't like to put out. What we will say is that we will have an adequate number down there to provide visibility, safety, and security.
Alrighty. And yes. Switching gears here, as you know, something in the water, it's now in Washington, D.C. Mm. You're the police chief of this city. How do you feel about that festival no longer being here in the city?
You know, I'm not going to address that specific festival, but as the chief, we're a resort city. We have the capability to ensure the safety and security of any large events, and I know that we have great people working in our Economic Development and Convention and Visitors Bureau that, you know, when we find large-scale events to come here, my job is just to make sure it's safe. I'll leave their job to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And one more question. This is like unrelated to the illegal guns that were found at the Oceanfront, but there was a homicide on Boggs Avenue, double homicide, 2 people died, and one of the siblings, he's still missing. Is he still missing? It was the brother, the suspect?
I think we may have located him. So I think he may be safe, and we are still working that. It is still a very active investigation.
Have any arrests been made in that?
No, we have not made an arrest yet.
Okay. Is he still a person of interest?
I don't know that we ever labeled him a person of interest. We were concerned about his safety, and I'll have to check, but last I believe that he has been located. He is safe and secure and,
Okay.
and still very active.
Okay. And has anyone been labeled a person of interest in that homicide?
I don't think we've ever put it out as a person of interest or identified a suspect. So.
Yeah.